Sometimes you want to make a wave. Sometimes you just want to make a ripple. Today, we'll be reviewing the Exway Ripple, a very portable, even air travel-friendly mini board for under $400. It has pretty underwhelming specs even for a $349 board, but reviewers all seem to like it, and we are curious to understand why. But first, let's get into the specs. Starting with the deck, the Ripple is made with a stiff maple, bamboo, and fiberglass composite material deck with a wide concave. We like the simple and classy grip tape design and also the RGB lights under the deck. It has brake lights that blink like a car and some cool decorative lights at the side which can indicate battery level. Moving on to the ESC, this is Ling Yi's first appearance in the Exway line with the 10S Ling Yi ESC on the Ripple. The 10S Ling Yi ESC comes with 4 speed modes and is paired with the generic Ling Yi remote, which has an OLED display to show the speed, battery, and other info. As for the battery, the Ripple comes with 2 swappable batteries. The Travel Edition 99 watt-hour battery complies with FAA and other aviation regulations, so you can take it to the skies. And the 159 watt-hour Cruiser Edition, which is still allowed in carry-on baggage with airline approval, as most airlines have a limit of up to 160 watt-hours. But even so, some airlines may have their own regulations when it comes to carrying lithium-ion batteries, so be sure to check your airline before traveling. We thought the battery was hot swappable like the Exway Wave, but it isn't. You need to remove 9 screws to swap the battery, so carrying an extra battery in the backpack for extra range is not an option here. The Ripple has a marketed range of 8 miles or 12 kilometers using the Travel Edition battery and 13.5 miles or 18 kilometers on the Cruiser Edition. In our tests, we managed to reach 8 miles or 13 kilometers with a 154-pound or 70-kilogram rider riding fast with the Cruiser Edition battery. For the 99 watt-hour travel battery, we get a 6-mile or 10-kilometer range. This is a pretty limited range, to be honest, but that's what you can expect from a battery this small. It's advertised as a last-mile solution, as most people walk a mile after their main mode of transport to get to their final destination, and e-skates like these are a perfect alternative when commuting between college classes, getting to a bus stop, or even a quick trip to the corner shop. And when worst comes to worst, it is a hub board, so you can kick push if you completely run out of juice. The Exway Ripple uses a hub motor drive at 672 watt max power, which is marketed with a top speed of 16 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour, which means it's definitely not built for speed, but for casual cruising or beginners. But this makes it too slow for shared roads, so you're gonna have to use it on pavements and sidewalks only. Surprisingly, when we took it to the road, we managed to hit 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour, which still isn't that fast, but definitely exceeded the advertised top speed. I'm guessing that Exway understates its top speed in order to comply with regulations some countries have. For example, Singapore has a speed limit of 25 kilometers per hour for PEV. For the trucks, Exway decided to put tryst 7-inch reverse kingpin trucks on the Ripple, which sets the Ripple apart from other $400 boards that typically use a cast truck. The back trucks of the Ripple are also made to look much better than most off-the-shelf hub trucks, in which its motors are typically screwed onto a pseudo truck. But Exway had a better idea to make the actual truck's axles stick directly into the hub motor wheels, neatly tucking away the motor cables, giving the Ripple a very traditional look. Basically, the trucks on the Ripple are great, but to a value-conscious buyer, this may be overkill, because even generic back trucks have proven to work well and are durable enough. And the Ripple, with its limited power, is unlikely to need a reinforced truck. But Exway Ripple is about polished quality and not value for money, and this is simply a microcosm of it. As for the wheels, the Ripple has small 75mm polyurethane wheels, which we think is the biggest limitation of the board and a deal breaker for many. We rarely see boards going smaller than 90mm wheels nowadays, and for good reason. 75mm wheels basically limit your ride to sidewalks or perfectly paved roads. You wouldn't want to ride even a mile on coarse asphalt. As you can see, Exway Ripple is a lot more polished than your typical $400 board, but comes with much lower specs. We expect a $400 board to have at least a 10S2P 144 watt-hour battery and a 25 mile per hour or 40 km per hour top speed. And even with promotion prices, Ripple will never compete with similar priced competitors in specs. Put it beside Meepo Atom 216 watt-hour battery and 29 mile per hour or 47 km per hour top speed, and you can see there's a large gap in the numbers. What's above our expectation from a $400 board is the forged trucks and integrated lights. And what we truly appreciate is it's super lightweight. It's only 13.1 pounds or 5.9 kilograms. If you want a good shortboard that's any lighter, you'll have to build it yourself, like how we did a few years ago with our Orbiter Shrink. The Exway Ripple is a super fun board to ride on smooth roads and paths, much like a surf skate that uses surf trucks that let you make really sharp turns. If you try to ride it straight, it might wobble a bit, so you gotta go with the flow and make carves. That's how you keep it steady. The deck is awesome. Nice concave, good tail, good size. Although it's only 30 inches, it feels wider than it actually is. The kicktail is fun to use, and we could definitely do tricks with Ripple if only we had the skills. When it comes to speed control, the Lingyi ESC gets the job done. Even during years before, back when Lingyi ESC still lagged significantly behind Hobbywing ESC in speed control smoothness, they still were flawless when paired with relatively weak motors. Lingyi ESC has come very far and performs as well as Hobbywing ESC now, and Exway Ripple has a tame motor, so it's no surprise that the speed control is nothing but completely smooth and intuitive. Exway Ripple is obviously not powerful and not very fast. Its 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour top speed means you will be left in the dust should you dare to join group rides with it. It is very nimble and feels very fast when riding on it, it just isn't actually fast. The motors are competent enough for most inclines, but I wouldn't trust it to get me up anything actually steep. Think of it as a surf skate with motor assist and stick to a flat and well-paved road. Exway Ripple is a niche product that everybody can just look at and instantly know if it's for or not for them. For example, if you are a skater who laughs at us e-skaters with our cumbersome boards, 105mm wheels, and our inability to ollie up a curb, then Exway Ripple is made for you. The light weight of the board should make executing all the skate tricks possible, and the board is the most agile and most portable board out there. For the rest of us who can't do an ollie, Exway Ripple is a fun and practical electric surf skate that has a long list of deal breakers. If you ride on rough roads, 75mm wheels with hub motors are not for you. If you need range, the bigger 155 watt-hour battery might still not be enough. If you need torque or speed, Ripple will be too weak. However, if you live somewhere or are flying somewhere that has decent public transport and a decent sidewalk to ride on, Exway Ripple is the board you want to get. Trading off extra battery for reduced weight always makes sense if you know you have to carry the board on hand at parts of the journey. Top speed doesn't matter when there is a 15 mile per hour speed cap on the sidewalk, and the agility of the board makes it a better board to navigate amongst other sidewalk users. As always, if you are looking to buy any e-skate, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and helps us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.